All right, time to prepare for another good and bad. Let's go ahead and go through the news. All right, so there was that. We got some Mandalorian content. Ooh, a dev Q&A. All right, let's go ahead and see what they talked about on this so we can report it. All right, what? 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 Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Good and Bad, where we go through an entire week of news and notes for a game and give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down based on what we thought about it. And this is about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I am Infinity with Reality Skewed Gamers, and I am glad that you're able to join me here today because we have a topsy-turvy week in Galaxy of Heroes. Now, we're going to kind of go through this in somewhat of an order, but bear with me here because it is going to be somewhat important. Now, the first thing we're going to go over is the AI change to Galactic Legends. Now, we've seen this before, and courtesy of a video by Operation Metaverse, they do a great job of doing arena videos and counters and bringing in people from the community. They put out a video talking about the way that the AI kind of functions with the Galactic Legends. And there was clearly something happening with gas when you put Watt and Fives on the team. Well, they went back, they saw that video, they immediately went and said, we're going to look to change this. The fear in the community is that it would have been something major. They would have changed a part of the kit, whether it was to Watt, whether it was to the Galactic Legends. But what they did was they modified the AI. So because of this and the fact that I think it's a reasonable way of trying to get this completed and still leaving Galactic Legends to the power level they would intend, I am giving this a thumbs up.
Business is good.
And that means that we are going to see some changes with some of these counters that are coming up. When you see new videos about counters, you can try to take advantage of them early, but if they stay out too long, depending on what the counter is and what it enacts, they're probably going to make some changes to it. So just be on the lookout for that, as a lot of you are starting to get your Galactic Legends now, especially with the higher GPs. Then we go into kind of this whole grouping, and I'm going to group them all together, and it is the Mandalorian finally getting content in this game. We've been waiting for it, and now we have them in 3 characters. We have Greef Karga, we have Cara Dune, and we have the Mando himself. So because of that, I am giving this a thumbs up.
Business is good.
And the kits themselves are still pretty good too. The kits are not overpowered, right? As you would kind of expect for a marquee. They're definitely kind of building up to something. They do have boundrels. They have bounty hunter and scoundrels, as well as some rebel synergies, depending on which characters you're looking at, which provides us a lot of opportunities to maybe plug and play them in some of our existing teams. It looks hopefully like they're going to have some kind of end game with this. And again, we hope that the end game is better than what they did with the Han Solo content and just kind of leaving the scoundrels there for a long time before they just threw kind of an event in the store. We don't want an event like that. We want something actually like to build it up. And again, theory here at RSG is that they are going to introduce 5 of these, with the next 2 potentially being IG-11 and Quill, and then allowing us to do a legendary of Grand Moff Gideon. So there's a few things here that we can work on here. We don't know exactly where this is leading, some theory crafting going on, but that's always a good part of the community, trying to theory craft, understand the game, and just kind of playing around with different combinations. And speaking of understanding the game, then came the dev Q&A. This is by far the worst Q&A they have ever had, and so because of that, I have to give this a thumbs down.
This is bad.
And the responses in this, a lot of them were basically what you expected. This isn't going to bring us money, so we're not going to focus on it like with the sandbox. They finally came out and said the reason that Galactic Legend Rey does not have a Jedi tag is because she would be broken under Jedi Knight Revan. We knew this already. They just tried to make it a lore reason, and the lore reason made no sense, especially when they tried to explain Greef Karga. So I'm glad they're slowly moving away from that and just flat out saying what the community knows, and I think what the community can respect. If we gave Rey a Jedi tag, it would break the game between Jedi Knight Revan and Jolee. The game would just be broken at that point. So I'm glad that they finally came out and said that, but some of these responses are just the worst responses ever, including factually incorrect. And we'll see the first one here, where they put in the explanation for defense. And somebody asked, what is the point of having over 100% defense when you can't reduce it anymore? The actual answer is that 100% defense is not the same as 100% armor or 100% special resistance. That is the correct answer. Defense is a flat stat that is used to calculate armor and special resistance. Percentage defense increases that amount and then affects your armor and special resistance. Whoever responded to this post, aka CG Miller, who's going to come up a couple of times here, does not understand how defense works or did not understand the question, because the response has nothing to do with the question. The response assumes that defense is a percentage stat, and it is not. Defense is a flat stat calculated on the back end. We have created a calculator in order to do this, to show these numbers. So what they're saying in this response is 100% wrong. This is an explanation for things that are percentage stats, like critical chance, potency, tenacity. That's where this explanation comes into play. But for things like defense, this is wrong. And they still, I can't believe they put this in a developer Q&A. That isn't to also mention the fact that feedback from the rock, paper, scissors apparently was fantastic. I don't know where they're getting fantastic from, but that's what they said. And we're also seeing some other posts here by CG Top Hat that are going to kind of confuse you a little bit. We have a post saying that the raid is on hold for some new content. They better be careful in what they release, because if they release more packs, this is going to be a massive fail, because players are lacking content. And even with what we have, Lightside GOTB, it is mathematically impossible right now to get maximum stars in Lightside GOTB. But when the question was asked if they're planning on doing something like improving the character's GP with levels and stuff like that, Top Hat said that there's no plans on changing the balance of Geo Lightside TB. When the question was asking, are they expecting any kind of power increase on the characters to make this game more enjoyable? There has to be a power increase of some kind. You cannot release as many characters as you are right now without players being able to complete Lightside GOTB for like 3 years. It's going to be 3 years before anyone is able to complete Lightside GOTB at maximum stars with the rate that you are releasing things and the GP requirements. The obvious solution is that there's going to be a level cap increase that is going to change these things. The players are not stupid. This response is stupid. So I really hope CG understands what they're doing here. They are showing that they don't understand the fundamental concepts of their game, and whatever bubble they're in that is evaluating this is extremely sad. So as you can probably guess, as a result of this Q&A kind of really giving us some developer insight into what is going on at CG, this week is definitely getting a thumbs down.
Dr. Thin, medicine woman, I've got a bad case of the SWGOH blues.
But I am Infinity with Reality Skewed Gamers. Thank you guys so much for joining. This was kind of a weird up and down week between the developer Q&A and the Mandalorian content. I hope you guys had some enjoyment in watching this, and I'm sure whatever I said is definitely going to get flamed one way or another, but please, either way, as long as they're respectful, whether you agree or disagree, toss some comments down below. Hit that thumbs up if you guys enjoyed watching this video, whether you were angry at me or whether you agreed with me. Whatever it is, Darthfinity has come out, and we'll see how long he lasts with the things that CG has to say. But until then, everyone have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next Saturday. Take care.